Hello, people of you, welcome to Mr. Reviews. Today, I'm reviewing Simpsons, The Bob Next Door. This is episode 22 for season 21. And like always, spoilers, everyone has seen this, so let's get into the review. In this, Springfield is bankrupt, so the mayor decides to cut corners on some of the stuff around Springfield, like get rid of a dead animal pickup or lesson times for school. And by that I mean the kids up on the school bus, and when they get to school, they go home. Yeah. And then let loose lesser criminals. And turns out some of the people in Springfield are actually moving from else, so there's more real estate to sell. Looks like Cookie Kwong is actually using an old real estate trick by getting people to want to constantly buy a house by using the smell of cookies. And when Bart just starts saying that he'll be dumb fat enough for that, Homer walks in and actually does the paperwork, and that was turns out that Cookie already sold the place. If he's able to do paperwork like that, how is he dumb? God. Anyway, it turns out the Simpsons' new neighbor is named Walt Warren. When Bart introduced himself, he finds out that Walt actually sounds like Special Bob. And when he says it the second time, there's just this montage of Bob saying "Hello, Bart." Even one where he's in the Eiffel Tower or something, or in some sort of a speedway, or I don't know. But the point is, Bart is freaking out, and even though his parents say that it isn't Bob, and that there's a lot of people that sound like him and use Fraser twice for some reason, Bart is still scared, and he is trying to prove Bob by him and Milhouse singing as Three Little Maids, hoping that since Bob is a fan of Gilbert and Sullivan, he'll fall for it. There's advertising some sort of radio show, I don't know, it's fictional or something. And when Walt is just talking to neighbors, having sort of party, Bart breaks into his house and trying to find evidence that he's Bob, but can't really find any. So Marge suggests that she bring Bart to see Bob in prison to prove that's him. And they do see him, and he's in a straitjacket, writing Bart will die on his padded cell with a red marker. Yeah, crazy. And the film Walt comes in afterwards and suggests that he and Bart go to a baseball game that's on, and Bart is all for it. It turns out SpongeBob has escaped, and when Bart and Mulder go to the game, Bob is at the Simpsons' house, and Homer actually catches his head in the window. But the twist is, the guy that looks like Bob is actually Walt, and vice versa. Yeah. And Walt and Bob just tell Bart and the other Simpsons about how it all happened. And the plan is that since Walt was getting the early release, Bob decided to do a face-off, like cutting his just switching faces by cutting them off. And he even cut his own face off, thinking that since got hit by so many pies, like crusty old ears, his face would be immune to pain. It wasn't. And at one point he has to put Walt's face upside down. I don't know. Anyway, the Simpsons and Walt have to break into Bob's house into a room, and Walt just explains that the reason he didn't tell the cop or the police about the face switch because, well, he did try, but he had trouble moving his new lips, and the cop saw he was just insane, so he just wanted to have his cell. And did try to warn Bart and Marge when he came over by writing Bart would die, but I think that's more evidence that he's crazy. They do break down the locked door that's in Bob's place, and yeah, it just shows that he really hates Bart. Anyway, a diner when Bob is just having some tears from this waitress that's he's flirting with him. When he notices a strand taken that from his collar, he pulls it, but turns out it's from his face, and he just see the inside of his face, and he just roars off scream while they're keeping his face to his head by his belt. Yeah, later on he's out dirty soda. And when he leaves, the Simpsons soap and the waitress just tells him that they're going to Mexico. But Walter really believe her, and Marge thinking that the waitress will lie. Oh god. What happened to her? Like, I know it wasn't the brightest penny or brightest person in The Simpsons, but still. Oh god. And the same thing happened with this time with the waitress putting the strand from Walt's or Bob's face. And when he went off, he was saying that the best men are always like gay or have no face. And it turns out that Bob is bringing Bart to Five Corners, that place that has that again had a 5 states separating it or something. I don't know. And his plan is to shoot Bart in one of the states to get the bullets travel to another one, and I don't really get it, but apparently it'd be legal for Bob to kill Bart, so he won't be taken away. And he is about to do the plan, but Bart actually came up with a counter plan, since he thought since Bob, if he and Bob are in the same place or same state, then he could still go to jail, and he keeps on following Bob. So Bob decided to come there and then, and that's how he did the plan. Then Walt shows up, and everything looked like it would be okay, but then a bee is on Walt's cheek, and Bob takes one back, and throughout Wiggum actually followed Bart and Bob, since Bart didn't actually believe that Bob was Walt. And Bob just kept on going to different states since Wiggum didn't have any jurisdiction in some of them, and then some other cops come. Oh yeah, while this was all happening, the Simpsons were in Mexico, and Homer kept on trying to get a taco. But I don't understand for some reason. Like the guy that he's talking to, he's actually saying taco, but you think he's just speaking English. Ugh. Anyway, Bart is taken away by a cop from New Jersey. Yeah, for some reason he keeps saying "oh." Why is that? Anyway, then the Simpsons open, he's saying that she's glad everything's okay, and Bart saying that it isn't, since somebody swapped her face with a bomb. And then the Simpsons get another new neighbor, which is Ned's cousin Ted, and he had some girls as well, and Homer just got to retake it. And just ends there with playing Bob's team at the end credits. This was kind of good. It didn't seem as quick with the whole mystery thing, like in the last episode. And the twist was pretty good as well. I'm not saying seeing Bob slicing his own face off was kind of good. The things that that's the thing Bart that tried to do to get the part to prove that Bob or that what was Bob was kind of smart, since he didn't know that Bob was this man of Gilliver and Sullivan. And as I said, Marge was a bit dumb on this episode. Like when Bart was going off to the baseball game with Walt or Bob, whoever, Marge asked is his room clean, and he says no. He's just glad it isn't, since to give her something to do. I don't know. She seems a bit stale. I don't know why they made Marge dumber over the years. It was just less interesting. It just seems like she's with Homer to make her life more interesting now. I don't know. What else? And already announced a good episode, probably one of my favorites. And the plan that Bob had to kill Bart, might not understand it, but was pretty good. And as I said, I don't know why that New Jersey cop kept on saying "oh," and that's supposed to be a joke or something, like making fun of people from New Jersey. I don't really get it. Anyway, next time Bob shows up, him and Lisa will be bonding over slicing DNA. Marge has to try to get some teenagers to give their abstinence to her or something. I forget to ask for, but probably pretty good. And to that, I will see you guys later.